Okay, we're going to take a look at scale factor again. Just remember that it doesn't matter what order you put things in, as long as you maintain that order when you create your proportion. So if you decide to go inches over miles for one of your fractions, then your other fraction should be inches over miles. If you decide to go feet over miles, then your other fraction should be feet over miles. And the first fraction is always the most information that you get out of the problem. So when we look at the first problem, for instance, we're given that 1 meter is equal to 72 miles. So I want to make that 1 meter over 72 miles. And then I'm going to set that equal to. And then we place the information that we're given in the appropriate location. So that's going to be 67, and we got an X here. Okay, and then all we're doing is taking those diagonals and multiplying. So I get 72 times X, which is 72X, and that's equal to 67. And then from there, because it's a typical equation, all we do is divide. So I'll get my calculator out, and I'm going to divide both sides by 72. And I get X is equal to 0.93 meters, rounding.
I thought you were talking to somebody out here.
Second example, you see we've got 5 centimeters is equal to an unknown number of meters in our scale. So we have to go with the information we're given. We're still going to make centimeters over meters. And we don't know what the meters are that match up to the 5. Okay, so we have X meters and 56 meters, 5 centimeters and 7 centimeters. Cross multiply. So we have 7x is equal to 56 times 5, which is 280. And that means that when we divide by 7, x is equal to 40. So our scale is 5 centimeters to 40 meters. Okay, so no matter where the missing piece is, we just have to place it into the correct location in the fraction, and it'll work out for you. Now we're given again both of the two parts, one for the map and one for the actual. So we go map over actual is equal to map over unknown actual. Cross multiply. 3x is equal to 84 times 4.5. And we divide both sides by 3, and we get 126. So that means if we're talking about 4.5 feet on the map, the actual distance is 126 miles. Again, we're given map and actual, and we're given map and unknown. 3.2 times x, 45 times 4. So I get 3.2x equals 180. Divide both sides by 3.2. And because there's only 2 decimal places, I leave it as that. 56.25 kilometers. So 4 centimeters on the map is actually 56.25 kilometers. We're given map. We're not given the actual. So we put our variable there. We're given map, and we're given actual for the other fraction. So I take 90 and multiply it by 3.6, and I get 324, and 5 times x is 5x. And then I divide both sides by 5. So you notice the last step is always dividing by 5, by whatever the value is that's in front of the x. Same process every time. 64.8 miles. Number 6. We're given the map, we're given the actual. We aren't given the map, but we are given the actual for the second fraction. Cross multiply. So I have 78x is equal to 110.4. And I'm going to round to 1.42. The next digit was, it actually came out to 1.415. The 5 causes the 1 to go up. And that's all I'm asking, is that you round to 2 decimal places. So look at the third decimal place, see what that causes the second one to do. Scale of the map is 6 meters to 20 kilometers, so we have map and actual. We don't have map, but we do have actual for the second fraction. 20 times x is 20x. 6 times 60 is 360. And we divide both sides by 20. And we get x is equal to 18. Now sometimes you can see the obvious here. If that's the case, you can just assume that you're allowed to do, you're allowed to multiply by whatever you know 20 times the value is that gives you 60. And so most of you can look at that and say, well, 20 times 3 will give me 60, so 6 times 3 gives me x, and that bears out there. And so anytime it's real obvious like that, that's all you have to do. Number 8, we're given map and actual. So I have 2.3x is equal to 78 times 3.4 to 65.2. Divide both sides by 2.3. I get x is equal to 115.30. Again, the next number is 4, so that stays 115.30. Scale of a model is 1.72 unknown. So we have our map. Whoops. We have our map, but we don't have our actual. We have our map. We have our actual. Cross multiply. You get 2x is equal to 88 times 1.7. which is 149.6. Put the decimal in the wrong place. And then we divide that by 2. Again, all you're doing is the last step every time is going to be divide. So not difficult to figure out. So that means that 74.8 is what matches up with 1.7 feet. Now, if I were trying to figure out the scale of this, not the scale, the unit rate rather, I would simply take 74.8 and divide it by 1.7. If you're trying to find the unit rate, that is the same as 44 to 1. So that means 44 miles rather, is equivalent to 1 foot. Okay, that's a unit rate. Here we're talking about a scale factor that they've given us. This is a model in terms of miles. And the last one, the scale of a map is 1.8 meters, which is equal to 66 kilometers. So we have scale and actual. So if you just practice writing your fractions as scale over actual, makes it a whole lot easier. Scale over actual, you get 1.8. X is equal to 66 times 6, which is 396. And divide that answer by 1.8. X is equal to 220. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Now you need to repeat the same thing with your practice worksheet.